Hi guys, and welcome back to Station Tutorials. Today I have for you Stereoscopic 3D, or Stereo 3D for short. There's a couple softwares out there that we're going to be focusing on today. The first is Cineform Studio and After Effects. Thank you for the comment there, SuperCush101. Happy indeed to help you out and kind of walking you through the steps of Stereo 3D. Alright, first we're going to jump into Cineform here. In Cineform you can import your 3D files when you have shot them with stereo recording. So that means a left and a right recording. So then you can bring these stereo files into Cineform and they will link up here on the left hand side, and you can see we have 3D right and left 1 and 3D right and left 2 there. So we have our right and left for our 001 and our right and left for our 002. So these will come in together. Cineform will recognize various formats. I think it recognizes DSLR footage now, H.264 and most MP4 formats. As long as you have everything labeled properly, it should come right in here. And then once you're in Cineform, you can select your file and rename it here at the bottom. And we'll name this horizontal. You're going to add this to the clip conversion list here on the bottom, and then it'll jump over to our right bin there. And we'll do the same thing with number 2 here and just name it 3D vertical. Alright, and we will add that to the conversion list as well. After that, you come down here and hit convert, and these files will start converting to one single 3D file. Alright, we're going to speed this up here. After this completes, now we have our stereo 3D files merged together as one clip. Scrub through here, mark my endpoint. And what's nice about this Cineform software is this is free through their website. And there's a professional version, of course, that you would have to pay some money for, but this version's free. And you can then adjust your white balance and keyframe controls over here on the right hand side. So I'm going to balance this out first so we can kind of reach a little bit more of a white rather than that warm orange look. And you can adjust the exposure, contrast, saturation, all right here within the software before you export your clip. That's looking a bit better now. Alright, now here's the convergence controls, and these are what's important here. So now what we're doing is we're taking our two files and merging the red and blue to form our final 3D clip. And this is why I have these bottles here at different distances, so you can see that bottles in the background will be converged differently than the bottles in the foreground. So this will work just like this in any scene. Subjects at different distances away from your camera will be converged at different points. So you can also keyframe these controls here as well. So if you have a subject moving through Z-space throughout a shot, you may want to keyframe that convergence as well. And if you hit the up and down arrows, it'll move ever so slightly, so that's a good way if you want to be real precise. Also down here at the bottom we have several other things. We have a horizontal position, and you can see what that does here. Vertical position does quite the same. We have our rotation, that's self-explanatory. H zoom here, which will stretch the horizontal, it's horizontal zoom. And then this dynamic one is real nice because what that will do is it'll just stretch out the edges if you want to make like a 4:3 clip, a 16:9 clip, and so on. Alright, so in here you can see this will display as various types of 3D, and yeah, we can do side by side, interlaced, but we're just going to stick with our red-blue glasses here. The anaglyph red and cyan is what we're talking about. Now if we want to export here, we're going to come up to File, Export, and we want to stick with our current anaglyph red and cyan, and I'm just going to name this Bottle 01, and I'll let that export then. Alright, now for After Effects. So if we want to do the same combination in After Effects, maybe your footage will not be compatible with Cineform, then you can just bring it into After Effects here. Inside of After Effects you can see I have my left and right footage. We're going to make a new comp here and make sure that our comp matches our footage, 1080 at 29:97. Create a new 3D camera rig. And now you can see what it does for us. We have our right, left, and stereo all here on the bottom, and I'll show you what this comp 1 does later on. Get rid of our render queue, we don't need that right now. Now if you look here, this tab says to composite stereoscopic 3D footage with the stereo rig, place the left channel footage as a 2D element at the bottom layer stack of this composition. And so we will take our left and place that on the bottom of that one. And we'll do the same with our right. To composite stereo 3D footage with the rig, place the right channel as a 2D element at the bottom of the stack. Alright, so we'll place that at the bottom. Alright, so we have our left eye and our right eye now. Now you can see that when we click on the rig, there we go. We have our red cyan brought up next to each other, and we have all these stereo 3D controls here. I'm going to kind of walk through what these controls do. So we have our scene convergence here, and this is what's going to be the most important, because now you can see when we converge this, that will affect our right and left cams. So let's just reset that for now. In here, we have all our different glasses, just like we had before, interlaced under over, side by side. This determines what your left and right view are linking up to. In here you can see comp 1 left eye and comp 1 right eye. I'm going to walk through this again from scratch. Go Layer, Camera, Create Stereo 3D Rig, and then in my left eye, I will place my left. In my right eye, I will place my right. And here we go in the stereo comp again. We have our red cyan, and let's start by converging our scene a little bit closer here. And now it depends on what you want to be the primary convergence point. That's why I have these bottles set here at different distances. The one in the very back is converging differently than the ones in the foreground here. If you hold Command and scrub through this, it will go by the 0.1%. And that's a nice way to be able to be more precise. Our bottles in the foreground are aligned a lot better. Now we have complete foreground alignment almost here on the first bottles. Our back is completely unaligned, which the terminology for that is called ghosting. You will notice with glasses on, if you're watching this with glasses on, that there will be some ghosting on separate elements. And you also know that we're losing our edges here on this comp, which will have to be fixed later here in the end. So now we have our mids aligned, and you can see what that's doing to the background and foreground as well. So now I'm going to show you how to add things to a scene like this if you want to, add other visual elements and have those appear in 3D as well. So let's just add a quick text layer here, just call it Happy New Year, and make that a 3D object, and we will center that up right in the middle. Alright, and then I'm going to copy this, Control C and Control V. And now that will be pasted in the exact spot, but just off because we have two different cameras here, right and left. But when we go to our stereo comp, now watch this, now our text will also be in 3D. So that's kind of a cool way to add 3D elements to your 3D scene. And maybe we want to reconverge this scene and have our focus be the text here. So let's realign this so that our text is the main thing we're looking at here. Alright, you can swap your right and left if your glasses are different. Here again, you have your under over, deinterlaced, all the different kinds of 3D that you might be looking for. You have this balance here, which that will adjust the balance of the red cyan maybe to match better to the glasses that you have. Alright, so you already have a scene built and you have a bunch of layers here all separated out into Z space. If you want to make this a stereo 3D image, you're going to select the camera in your comp and then come up Camera, Create Stereo 3D Rig. And this is going to take a little bit here because it's going to be thinking about all this information that we have here and creating us a new stereoscopic rig out of our original one composition. So now what we have, make this a bit bigger. Now you can see our anaglyph image here, and we can control the convergence just as we did before. We have our right eye and our left eye that it created for us. And then we have our original composition all the way over to the side here, like I was saying before. This is how you can create a stereo 3D image out of a 3D setup that you already maybe had in After Effects. Alright guys, well I hope you learned a little bit. I'm not an expert in the field of stereo 3D, but I mean I learned a lot in this too. I was glad I was able to do this tutorial for you guys. Actually, you guys helped teach me a few things with this. And maybe I'm going to go out and shoot a 3D video and do a 3D music video or something that try my hand at it and see what kind of gags or elements that I can come up with. I don't know. I'll let you guys know though. I'll keep you posted. And if you guys make anything cool 3D, I'd like to see what you guys make. Maybe send it to me or put it as a video response to this video. And let's keep on learning together and experimenting with this. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Taking shots in here. You want one?